I finished my career with the Kansas City Chiefs. I played with them 7 years. I played in the league 15. I was the 291st person taken in the draft in 1992. Yes, so right away feeling very good about myself. Who knows what a long snapper is? Some do. Okay, who doesn't know what a long snapper is? Okay, and then there's some that don't care what a long snapper is, and that's okay. I didn't either until they told me that they would write a check if I did it. But I'll say this, I want to describe my 15 years in the league as a long snapper playing 244 games. Less than 80 people played that many games in the history of this world, so I'm very proud of that. And it went like this: snap ball, get shit kicked out of it. And it was just basically that easy, or that tough, depending on how you look at it. But on a serious note also, with this being the emphasis on the veterans and what they do, and it's just a great thing, I want to thank you all for allowing me to make something like this so trivial important in my life. Because if you didn't, I wouldn't have had a chance to do what I'm doing, and I wouldn't be up here right now. So I don't take that lightly, and never think that I do. And I'll tell you, a lot of people in the NFL don't take it lightly. Sometimes you see the wrong people, and I apologize for that. And I'd ask that you don't put all this on Twitter. But the fact is, there's a lot of good people, and they've got a lot of respect for what you all do, did, have done, will do. And so for that matter, that's why I'm so honored. When I'm juggling, and when I was juggling those rings, I want you to think about that in your life. This is how I talk about it. Those rings signify the three parts of your life. And that is the professional, the individual, and the family. We all have those three parts in our life. And I just want you to remember that, because I'm going to reference it here in a little bit. But it's something that I draw on and go from, and I look at each part of my life in its entirety and how I want to deal with it, and that's something that I'm going to share with you tonight, which I hope resonates. This will sound a little bit funny coming from a long snapper and a guy who makes his living talking on the radio, but Socrates said, I cannot teach anyone anything. I can only make them think. And they went on to say, learning is remembering. I hope tonight that I'll make you think, and I hope that'll help you remember some things that I think you already know. Because the fact is, I truly believe almost everything in this world has been said. It's just how you say it, and can you say it in a way that helps somebody remember it for the rest of their life, to help make a difference in their life. Now, as you can imagine, having given upwards of 90, 100 balls away in my career with the Chiefs, I got letters and stuff. I would sign them and send them back, and it was very nice. And I kept a few. And one that I actually kept was from this kid, Dustin B. from Pawnee City, Nebraska. Can't read it very well, but he's 10 years old, and he was just excited because he got a ball. And he sent me that picture, and I kept that for some reason. And that's pretty cool. I do think that's very cool. So, fast forward, 3 years ago, I'm doing something, and I get a direct message on Twitter, because that's how people communicate. And the message said, Kendall, do you remember me? My name is Dustin B. You gave me a ball when I was 10 years old. I was like, wow, that is amazing. Actually, Dustin, I do. I use your picture in my talks sometimes. You must be darn near in college or through college. And he said, yeah, actually, I just graduated technical school. I think he said 22 years old. And we talked a little bit. I asked him about that. And then at the end, I said, you know what, do you still have that ball? Because I was curious. And what he said will always move me, which he said, I will always have that ball. You know what? Compliments are free. Doing things for people, acting the right way are free. You make a difference in somebody's life, they remember it the rest of their life. In the NFL, we give game balls to signify a job well done by somebody, or we get a ball because we've done a good job. And I just took that to what I did on those Sundays, giving those balls away. I just thought it was a cool thing to do. And that's one of my messages is tonight is, you know what, when you have a chance to make a difference in somebody's life, like I think Fish does for a lot of different people, you damn well ought to do it. And it's a really cool thing. This organization, what you all do, is awesome. And like I said, I meant it when I said I can make something as trivial as a piece of aired up leather central in my life and make a living to support my family by it. That's amazing to me. That does not happen without our military and what they do for us on a daily basis, what they've always done for us on a daily basis, and what they will always do for us on a daily basis. That is a damn cool thing. Yeah, that does do that. I want you to think back, close your eyes if you want to, think about that kid, that boy, that girl, that friend, middle school, high school, whatever it was, college, that you could be apart for years, best friend. Then all of a sudden you get back and it's like time stood still and you were just around each other. Can you think about somebody in your life like that? Absolutely, yes, I can. That guy for me was the guy in the middle, Scott Dennis. This is my senior year in high school. I'm the guy rocking the sweet stash on the right. I thought it was sweet. You should have seen the beard that came later. But the guy in the middle, Scott Dennis, I'm on the right. He was a year younger than me. It was BMOC. We were the big men on campus, athletic-wise. My senior year, I was male athlete of the year. The next year, he was male athlete of the year. I went to Pittsburgh State University to play football and get a degree, and quite honestly, probably in that order. But all the same, he went to Temple. He was all Big East. He did everything. We did everything together. I got a call, and Scott had taken his life down at the Walmart at 159th Street in Metcalf in the parking lot. So when this happened, it hit me hard. To make matters worse, if they can be worse, the fact is he was at my house the night before to pay me back some money that he owed for some tickets I got him. I don't think he did it on purpose. I don't think he had it planned. I think he caught a weak moment. You remember when I was the individual, three parts of the person in your life: the individual, the family, and the professional. I talk about that, and when you look through things, I talk about it being emotional persistence. Persistence isn't merely physical repetition. Snapping a ball, juggling, those are physical repetitions. If you've ever read Outliers, it's 10,000 hour rule. You do something over and over until you get good. That's physical persistence. Emotional persistence is the constant ability to look through someone or something from multiple angles that allows you better understanding. To look at someone or something through multiple angles that allows you better understanding. And it's through this knowledge that you give both yourself and those you lead a better chance for success. Just don't say, "Hi, how you doing?" as you walk by. The phrase that you hear some people talk about is "I see you," which is "I hear you, I feel you, I'm listening, I get it." You talked about a tribe today. I talk about it as being the inner circle, the people you can depend on and trust. I would venture to say that the people in here are people that you can trust, that want to help you, and I want to help you if you need that. And if you know somebody else who needs that help, then I hope you'll be a part of their tribe as well. Statistics tell us that in a group this large, certainly more than 1% are having some type of thoughts or know somebody that are having some type of thoughts about suicide. And the fact is, if it's anything other than zero, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And the fact is, though, we all get in dark places, we all have problems. I do not pretend to think that the problems that I have could compare to some of the things that maybe some of you have gone through in your careers in the military side with people you know. Please do not take it any other way that I'm trying to compare the best that I can. But there is one comparison that I can talk about, which is what I did to help myself. I went to my first therapist, and two parts in, he was like, "Talk therapy is not going to work with you. You are effed up. You've got issues." That's tough to hear. If you express gratitude on a regular basis, as little as one time a week, for as little as 10 weeks, you will start to see a change in your physical, your psychological, and your social sides of things. I'm not going to go into it very deeply here, except to say that it is real, and this is what I believe in. And trust me, I'm helping you remember, because we all know this, I think. I just want to help you remember. I hope you go out with a different tune about it, and maybe think about it a little bit more. And the third one is this: no one is a bowling ball. I juggled the bowling ball for a reason. When I had the ring, if I was juggling this way, I could see this edge, you could see this edge. If I asked you guys what you saw, it was a white object. If I asked you all over here, it was a colored object. We're all right and we're all wrong. And when I turned around, all of a sudden you guys saw it from a different perspective. You're like, oh, okay. And then I got crazy and I turned the colors like that. And I know that was fabulous, by the way. I did that, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, they got some color to them as well. But you know what? For me, no matter how I turned, no matter what I did, this is all I saw. And if I don't get out of my own shoes and try to realize that you can see something from a different perspective, then there's no way I can be successful. Because I'm going to be narrow-minded, no pun intended. So I think that's very, very important. Now, I compare that to the three parts of your life. When you see the three objects is your individual, your family, and your professional, you can break that down into three things also. Because each one has, when we talked about it, was an object, a shape, and their color. Your individual life, your family life, your personal life, facts, circumstances, and beliefs. Those three things exist in each phase of your life. And how you deal with them, how you choose to deal with them, how you help others deal with them, that will create your state of mind. And your quality of life is dependent upon one thing: your state of mind. The decisions you make with what happens to you both physically and emotionally. When you looked at me from the outside, I was a bowling ball. That's why I juggled the bowling balls, not just to wow you, which I know it did. But unlike the ring, a bowling ball, I move around, I look, whatever thing. What do you see? You see a bowling ball, black round object, shiny, beautiful, perfect. That's what I tried to be for 48 years, perfect to everybody. And I did a damn good job of it, and it was a charade to a degree. I mean, I love people, I love my wife, I love my kids, and I was trying to do everything for everybody. You know, one person I forgot about? Myself. Yeah, and I'm not trying to throw a pity party. What I'm trying to do is make sure that you don't become a bowling ball, number one. Because people are not bowling balls. No one is a bowling ball. Objects are bowling balls. People are not. It is not possible. It is not possible. Now I would say this also, because we talk about suicide. Whether I speak an hour, whether I speak 15 minutes, I always talk about suicide because it's real. It's not 7 degrees of separation with Kevin Bacon. It's 1 degree separation. But the big thing that it says, and I know you know this, again, learning is remembering. Life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you respond. I don't know the complete percentages, but I'll say this. Life is truly how you decide to handle things that come your way. And how you handle them, that creates your state of life. And you know what, sometimes some things that come your way suck. They really do, I get that. They did for me as well. And that's why I'll continue to say, if you need some help, at the very least, find a tribe. Find your inner circle, people you trust. If that doesn't work, take other means. These folks around here, they'll help you out with it, I promise you. One of the 2 books I've written. It's called Game Plan. Leadership Lessons from the Best of the NFL. I was clearly talking about some other people. But I like this. I took what I learned on the football field and in meetings. I tried to take it to the boardroom and talk about leadership and team building. I was speaking to a group last year. Where is it? And I noticed after I got done speaking, I was having lunch with them, that one guy was writing in my book. And then afterwards he came up to me and he said, Kendall, I know you probably never had this done before, but I signed the book to you. I want to give it back to you. So I want to read you what this said. I've got this book. It's actually right there. I keep it with me. I will never leave it. I will never let it go. This is the first type of letter that I've ever gotten. That just means a lot. I just want to say, here's how it goes. Kendall, Your message was profound and moving and appreciated. I'm a retired Master Sergeant in the Marines and an Iraq combat vet. As I mentioned to you, the message you brought resonates is similar. I led 105 Marines in combat and never once wavered in my responsibilities as their leader. It doesn't surprise me. But once I returned to the U.S., I lost who I was mentally and emotionally. I had nothing to give anyone, so I lost my family. Soon the thoughts of suicide crossed my mind. But being blessed by many crossing my path, similar to you, Kendall, it was only then that I realized that emotional support is so key to the success on and off the job. Sincere thanks for your message. Retired Master Sergeant, U.S. Marine Colonel, Iraq Combat Vet, Victor L. Brewer. Not that I have to have tangible things, but this is why I do what I do. I am most at home. I am the most fulfilled when I can hopefully have a chance to make a difference in somebody's life. Be it my kids, be it you all here, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. I think it was Jonas Salk who said the greatest gift is to be in service of others. It's really what we're doing here with Fish. But if you could take this out into the world and spread it, the place to be a better world for sure.